It's on my end. Sorry. There we go. Hello. I cannot see your stream on Discord yet. It's on your camera. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Um, no. Let me try going full screen. I can pick out a third of the letters. 2/3 of the letters I can see, so it's better. Yep, yep. Um, hey, Ken. Are you using OBS
Testing.
to grab your video?
I was.
You are? Okay.
Sorry, hi the stream. I was late and I had some issue. Okay, so give me 1 minute, Kidner.
Sure.
Just finish my setup. Discord go here. You should see my screen, but it's a little large. I cannot control this for Discord. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm now streaming on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. This is Creator Sunday stream. Every Sunday I do a stream around creative content in Somnium Space, mostly Somnium Space Word. My specialty right now, developing Word in Somnium Space. 3D creation, bold scripting, and stuff. I'm with Kidnerpo on Discord. You can join us on Discord to hang out. And that's pretty much it. I think we have sound. Yes.
And that's the Somnium Space Discord.
It is? Yes, correct.
Just for clarification.
Yeah, as you can see, I configure my Streamlab to stream only this part of the window, the right one. So it looked normal.
Yes.
But for you, you see the whole screen. Yeah, Discord have a problem with that.
Yes.
I don't think I can do anything about that.
I think you might likely be right.
Boo. Yeah.
Or maybe, what if you weird idea? What if you shared an application
that would be horrible for you? That would be
okay.
Application sharing is horrible with Unity. I guess I could try, but
I wasn't saying doing it with Unity. I was thinking of doing it with your screen share. Share the application and share the application screen share.
Application screen share. Not sure I get it.
So so
you mean on Discord?
Yeah, share application. So does screen share have a full view window of what you're grabbing?
I mean, screen share would be this.
Dude,
but then if I click on, I cannot see what I'm doing. What happens if I click here? I cannot see what you see.
Yeah, you're right.
There, because in Unity, each of those are considered a window in Discord.
So, I get it.
Maybe you want to have an headache.
Is this the are you sharing your Unity or are you sharing your screen share?
Screen share, you will have the ultra large window, the ultra large screen.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yep.
I mean,
I'm back on board.
I can't share Streamlab because you will have all the weird stuff.
Ah, true.
So
All right. I haven't played with screen share
I don't
enough.
see
Yeah.
alternative. It's I thought Microsoft bought Discord, but it's not the case.
Oh.
Change window, stop streaming. Oh my god. Screen. Why can't I choose the like part of the screen? That's dumb. Like now, the ultra large window are super popular, and they did nothing to adjust to that. Whatever. I guess you can read more better than before.
Sure. Yep, I can.
And I would like to put my window on the middle, but I can't because then I don't have place to put other stuff.
Nah.
Look, I can do that for you. There. Oops.
Oh,
no,
good.
It's gonna distract me too much. Okay, sorry.
Right.
So I guess my sound is working and did not test it. Let me just... Oops, sorry. Oh, damn it. Okay. Let me just check out... Damn it, I have a blank. What was I doing? Whatever. Twitter, maybe? Just need to validate the sound work. I won't be at peace until I check.
Sure.
Oh, Pete made new avatars. Okay. Validate the sound work. Okay, the sound is working. Good. Okay, so let's start. So today after multiple time working with people that have messy Unity, I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna make a stream about organization and stuff.
Nice.
I will record it. Let me just configure OBS for recording. There, okay, that's working. Virtual camera, I don't need that anymore. Start recording. Okay. At least it's not my laptop, so I don't lose FPS.
Nice.
by doing so many things at the same time. So just for your info, in Incredi Words, right now I'm working on the new grabbing system. So in PCVR you can grab better objects, and I'm refactoring the network layer too. Don't ask why, that's just OCD me. You know, Kidnap, oh, never mind. Okay, so let's start with a project that's less clunky. Demo scene, if Incredi Words. If you don't know what Incredi Word is, it's my project. It's a word operating system. I kind of want to say metaverse creator now.
Yeah.
Because I think you don't have a metaverse until you really have an open space, a shared space, you know, and
sure,
you know, like Somnium space where there's locations. Just having only parallel words, I don't see metaverse in that, you know.
True. Yes.
So yeah, whatever. So here is my example scene for people that want to upload to Incredi Words, and I want to teach a little bit about my organization technique. Let me just start the recording. I hope I won't trash this tutorial like usual. Can I put VC face here? Oh, it's not working. Oh, I guess I cannot capture VC face twice. Too bad. Oh, that's fine. Okay. So hello everyone, this is a little tutorial to explain my technique of organization in Unity. I've seen a lot of people in Somnium space having difficulties, not difficulties, but having a very messy project. And then when they need to migrate their work to another Unity project, it's a complete mess. and they can accidentally lose stuff, and it's just so sad. So I want to share a little bit how I work. So first of all, this is my favorite Unity layout. On the left, you have the hierarchy, where is all the game object. I have a second one here. The reason is sometimes I drag and drop it like this. I lock one, and then I can move game object easier. Sometimes you have to scroll to move something, and having this here is nice. And when I'm finished, I drag it back here. That's very nice for hierarchy. I love to create visual in my naming, so my eyes and other people that use my project can fastly understand the hierarchy here. It's not super messy. It's better to use long names that are more explicit than just test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, and like, oh wait, I have 30 tests. Which one was I doing yesterday? You know? Here is the scene view. Here is project settings, but it's more for me because I access it, but the game window is here. You can have just this. And here's the console. I found this configuration nice. Inspector on the right here. Lighting setting, you may not need that much. On the down is my working window. This one here. Graph for bolt. Profiler, not that much, but animator, animation. When I have something to edit that's not 3D, I do it here. And on the left, at the last, I have project. And for bold, variable, and graph inspector. I love this layout. I'm kind of having it for a long time now. I did not change it that much. And here, when you do control roll, I love to have my file view. You have a slider here at the minimum, so it's more Windows-like, easy to find. It's very important to keep your file folder structure very organized, because you will regret it very fast. And every time I do a test and I'm too lazy and I create it somewhere, I'm like, okay, the name is wrong, I don't know what it is, so I need to clean up, and it's a rebel. So first thing I will tell you is about this folder here, hashtag local. I really love this structure. The thing is, I separate what I'm working on, what's mine, from everything else. Here, every folder is not from me. It's add-ons, package, libraries and stuff. Don't mind the things here, that's my wrong organization. But I'm mostly not that bad. So, local. If you, like me, you work on other person projects, I love to have a folder called projects and project test. But as long as you have some kind of organization, it's fine. So projects, I have the name of my friend where I'm working with them, so it's easier to remember where it is. There's no my folder because I made this one here. Eus is my project. I kind of always rename it. For me, I have hashtag modules because those are scripts and asset, and mostly script that are reusable. So that's for me, module. But for you, I would suggest have a project folder if it's for anything not for you, and you can have a folder with your name. So you kind of just need two. And you can have a folder for a test. And important, name your test. Don't call them test. Name them. It's very important because you don't know when a test is gonna becoming a feature and when a test is becoming a trash. And it's easier to clean the trash when you call the file delete me, this is a weird test, you know, or something. I love to call a file delete me if I'm sure that I will need to delete it. So that's mostly here for like, yeah. Let me share you my other. Oh, let me change the music. Okay, my other. This is special because this project is like a platform, so my organization is a little bit different, and I want to suggest I will put everything in local personally, but for me I have EU here. Since I'm a package, you will have EU not in your local, of course. So EU, and this is my organization. For years and months or whatever, I was trying to separate everything by projects. So for example, house number 1, I put all the mesh inside it. I put all the texture and all the material inside. But I realized very soon that this is not very nice for sharing mesh, prefab, and material between objects, because in Unity you need to have as less material as possible. As less material as possible and as less mesh as possible. So I found that organization by categories is better, at least for your asset and your texture and your materials. So now I have, imagine EU is your folder, like, I don't know, Kidnerpo. I have animations, I have animation controller and animation inside it. Sometimes I have subcategories, but they are animations too. Audio, prefabs. You see, I have subcategories, but it's all prefabs too. So it's easy to organize this way. So I could have a category door in animation and a category door in audio and etc. Of course, there's no perfect way of organization. Sometimes it's better to have one folder for one project, but as long as you are organized and you are satisfied, it should be fine. There's not one way of organizing that's the perfect one. Include script that I share with people. This one is more thought-minded. Materials. This one I have only one folder because I want to try to share and delete the unused one. So this is nice to share material between objects, since material is very important to share. Shaders, pretty much the same. I have too much shader, I need to clean this. Textures, I love to have, don't mind every texture, is too complicated, but texture original from me. So bakes, texture I made myself, that's pretty much less. And texture not original, some stuff that are licensed. All those are from Blender Kit, so I can share them without problems. But I don't like people to think that's mine, so Cloud Zero should be inside this, you see. But, I have trash time to time, but that's fine. As long as it's like your real house. It's not, I mean, I know people that it's always perfectly clean and it makes me uncomfortable. But for me, I'm 80% clean all the time. So I have I have a letter here that's on my desk. Should be on the garbage. But mostly my cable organized. You see what I mean? So not get crazy there's a balance between getting crazy and being not organized. So for me, it suits me well, but I really think it's important. I've seen people losing files and having so many duplicates. And what's nice with this structure, if I need to create a new Unity project because this one is broken or whatever the reason, I just need to export those 2 folders and that's it. I don't have anything else to think, That's very nice. Here, yeah. So all the rest is from Somnium Space or other package. So I only have 2 folders for me. It's not that much for someone that making a platform. So what about you, Kidnap? Having any thought or comments about this project, this organization?
No, I think it looks good. The only other thing that I tend to do also is I'll have a project file that is the one that I am working on. But whenever I buy a asset from the asset store, I tend to have a project that is just for importing all of the assets from the asset store. And then I go through and figure out which ones I want, which ones I like, and which ones I'm not going to use. And I'll usually export them to a folder that I try to keep fairly organized, and then import just the objects, just the assets that I want to use in my project. That way I'm not filling up my project with a ton of files. I just use the ones that I want.
Yeah, this is an amazing technique. I never really thought about it because I'm a stubborn artist. I create everything myself. But for anyone else, this is nice. So you have your main Unity project here. You have a second one, like Kidnap said. you call it import. So every time you go to the asset store and you find you pay a paid or a free asset package, you only export what you need to the main Unity project. Yeah, that's a very great way of working, because sometimes you have to clean up and there's so many things. So,
I
oh,
think that,
I forgot to
and the other thing
introduce
I'll.
you because we are recording a tutorial. So Kidnap is in
Oh,
Discord with
sure.
me, and we are doing the stream, the creators on the stream. Um, he's someone that have very good talent in Unity development in some space, and yeah.
Thank you.
What were you saying?
I think the other trick that I do is I'll also have a project folder just for experiments, where like if I'm working on some bolt stuff and I have no idea like what bolt nodes I need, I'll use an experiment project just for
I see.
adding a bunch of, because I assume that as you add more and more bolt scripts, is more for it to load and more for it to do,
Yeah,
and I usually keep that one
correct.
pretty simple, and I'll usually leave a bunch of scenes around just if I want to see how a certain script works, or I want to test it, and I know there's not a lot of other stuff, a lot of dependencies in the folder. So, and then once I get something working to the way I like it, then I'll move that object, that program, that experiment over to my main project and integrate it there.
Okay, so as I understood, you have a third Unity project. Let's see, let's keep it simple.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
for experimentation and test. In comparison, for
Yes.
me, I understand my Unity is super long to load,
Yep.
super
Yep.
long to press play. It's full of stuff. So
Yeah.
Kidnap to have his Unity clean and fast, he do his test on another Unity project. So he keep the first one clean. That's two nice way of working. Uh, Personally, I find it difficult to have too much indie project to work with. It's really depend on how your brain work. For me, I have
Sure.
Incredible Words. Um, whoops, I just opened a project by accident. I have pretty much 3 projects and that's it.
Yeah.
But I only use this one for developing. The others are for other stuff. But
Sure.
yeah, it gave me a Unity that's super slow, and it can
Yeah.
crash for no reason. So in Unity being Unity, that's a very good way of working. If I can give you tips for developing Unity, first of all, make sure Gizmo is always disabled until you need it. This thing is crazy heavy. So you will have, sorry, I need to close this. This is the difference between developing in Unity at 5 frame rate or 10 frame rate and like 30. I think Unity is like 30 in the editor. So Gizmo can be very heavy. I remove a lot of stuff I don't need here, but for you, you can just need to enable it when you need. When it's disabled, you can still see the outline and the arrow. That's all you need for moving stuff. And if you need to see a collider, for example, let me find something with a collider. I can go in edit mode to see it, or I can just press Gizmo once and say, okay, that collider is fine, and then Gizmo is finished. Yeah, that's all the tips I have on my mind right now. Have anything else interesting, Kidner Pro?
I think that's about all I do. I think the only
Okay.
other thing is you are right. I do have a ton more projects than you have in your folders, but I think I'll usually keep one that's specific for uploading and downloading avatars with
Oh
the
yeah.
with the Unity the Somnium Space SDK, just because that's usually a different a different workflow. And so actually I keep one project for working with the Unity SDK. So that would be for uploading avatars, would be for uploading content to the
Yes.
to my custom meshes for the builder. And what else do we do with that? And I think, but then my world is yet another separate project.
Yeah.
So
I think I have the same structure
yeah,
for that. So
Yep.
Everything like avatars and building, I upload to Somnium Space. I have a project for that.
Yeah.
The reason I keep my number of Unity project to the minimum is that I found it very hard to always needing to move assets and script between Unities, and sometimes I have duplicates, and I don't remember which one is the last version on two Unities. So
Of
I try
course.
to avoid this, but it's very hard sometimes. So I try to keep one Unity project clean mostly, and most people could like that too.
I usually will if I have to move something from one project to another, I'll export it and then usually put like something something and then the date, or actually not even the date because the date is kept with the when the file was created. So sometimes I'll put like a quick description of the feature that was
mhm.
added to it, like such and such, this is working. And then if I need to import that anywhere else, I can go back and find that one
Yeah,
in
talking.
my exported. So that's what another thing is, like keep a folder of exported files by either kind of what you do, like these are files that are from particular assets, these are files that are my creations, and keep them organized, whether they're scripts or super units or
Mhm.
models or whatever.
Yeah, and talking about import and export, um, I have a lot of pain sometimes when people send me an asset because they don't structure their folder. So then it all like
Sure.
they send me an avatar and it makes like 10 folder everywhere. I'm like, oh my god, what a pain. So having hashtag local, project, Denevraut, and everything is here when I send something. I'm pretty sure people are are
Let's
glad that
show
I do
people how,
that.
let's show people how they can tell where all of their assets are coming from when they export something.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
sure. So let's say I export my texture folder here. I select the texture folder. I'm not sure if it was your question, but at least we will see that.
so
Export
if I were to,
package.
sure, yep.
And I always uncheck this include dependency, but because it will just try to export everything. So this is the correct way to send asset to someone else. You export it, right click export. And here I uncheck include dependencies. I make sure everything is here. The best way is to have everything in one folder. It's just so better to export. Um, what was
But
your question
so
exactly?
let's do a model where you might have the model in one folder and the animation in another folder and a material in another folder.
Hmm.
If you've got something like that set up.
I mean, we could suppose, here, like I said, the EU folder is similar to anyone else that will have local, project, and Denevraut. So here
Sure.
in my asset local projects, I can include myself in project. Personally, I put it here too because I don't intend to export anything in my EU. It's just faster, but both are fine. So project Denevraut, so I can have like can I say a folder models. That's not a folder. Create a folder. I think there's a shortcut for that. Create.
I'm
No.
not sure.
Folder. There. I know M is material. So I thought F will be folder.
Yes.
Like if I press. Ah, it's create and F. No. Ah, never mind. Models. Textures. Then you could have another one. Folder. Prefabs. So let's go with something we can do here because I don't have avatars on my. So a cube
Sure.
here. Um, let's just use Blender very quick to create I prefer using mesh, but that's me. Show in Explorer. When you import or export stuff, right click, show in Explorer, go on the right folder and copy the path. That's the best way to work with Unity or any software in fact. So I have a cube here, I'm gonna edit there, File, export, FBX. Now I can pass the path I copy. I have my Blender export here. Weird box, export FBX. We are done with Blender. Now the FBX is here. So that's my weird box here. Right. Project, Denevraut, mesh. Okay, prefab. I can drag and drop my prefab here. Oops, that's wrong thing. There. Textures. What are you laughing at?
I I know what you're doing, and I lost track of what you clicked and where you clicked it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I go too fast, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Let me just create a random texture. New. If noise. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. No, that's too there. Nice texture.
Nice.
Save, paste my path. I'm just gonna go one folder before texture. Okay, I don't know how to write noise, so don't judge me. Okay. Oh, another thing that for organization that I found very important, I just did something I'm not allowing. So in 99% of the case, use JPEG. Really, you will save so much place on your Unity. Sometimes you want to share your Unity project with someone and it's like 5 GB. I'm like, what? Why? So if you're not sure for the quality, save as JPEG. Then you can do 100% because it's easier to recompress a JPEG than converting it. Because Unity is dumb. Converting a JPEG to PNG and vice versa in Unity is a pain because all your reference to this texture will be broken. So you will prefer to have JPEG right directly. So it's mostly for file size that I do that. You can still use PNG everywhere. It's a very nice format, but files are very bigger. Sometimes like 5 to 10 times bigger. And you don't have significant gain in quality. You will prefer PNG if you have transparency, of course. JPEG do not support transparency. And you will prefer PNG if you have something that is like a screenshot, a UI, anything that's not natural. Natural, I mean noise, pictures of human, pictures of anything, in fact. Anything that's from the real life, anything that is very complex, like a painting with a lot of details, a lot of shading. As long as you have a lot of shading and noise on a picture, you should use JPEG. JPEG can compress very well noise and everything that's natural. JPEG don't compress well what's not natural. Like, if I do a screen capture of this is not natural. It's logical. If it's logical, like this is on color, this is a gradient, this is a whatever, a line. PNG is better to compress it. But in 95% of the case, or even 99, you can still use JPEG 100% for not natural things, but you may have some little compression. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think no, I'm good. Never mind. Not important.
Okay, now I have a folder of materials. Create materials. Weird material. I can drag and drop it on my box here. Texture. I click on the object. I go on the material on the right here. I'm sorry if I go fast. I just did not thought about going slow. And also I assume people have a little bit of knowledge in Unity because I will have started from scratch. Let's put my weird noise here. In fact, it's not that bad for once. Or a test. Oh, another very important thing about texture. 95, most of the time, like 99% of the time, sorry, my number always change. You will want 1K, low quality, crunch compress. and anesthesia level 4. This is the magic numbers. You almost don't have to think. Anesthesia level 4, this is because when a texture is on an angle like this, let me just show you. You may not see because of the video compression, but when a texture is on an angle, it gets blurry when the anesthesia level is on 1. So I increase it. In this case, I think the texture is too low quality for us to see. But 4 is a nice level. Too bad we cannot see, but it's fine. You can still keep 1, it's fine. But max size, I found that you don't really need more than 1K for anything most of the time. Because it's very important to understand that in games, in Unity, pixel density in your screen is crucial. Even if you have a small texture, let's say I have a texture of 128, right? That looks not heavy. But if I create a tiling of 10 by 10, then the pixel density is very high. And this is heavier than having a 4K that's stretched, you see? So what's really matter is the pixel density of your texture at the end. And you can also reduce the texture size and using tailing to have a decent pixel density and a decent texture size. Here on your texture window, you will see what this texture will take on your GPU. 3.5 kilobytes. That's decent. If I use no compression at all, then it's 1 megabytes. It's just completely ridiculous. If I use normal quality, I really fast go to, oh sorry, I have crunch enabled. That's misleading. The crunch compression here, this will reduce the texture size by reducing the quality only for the storage. I know it's complicated, but let's go fast with that. When you have a texture on your project, JPEG or PNG, when you build wait, yes?
The only thing I wanted to mention is I didn't know if you wanted to go down this route. We're kind of getting away from project organization.
I mean,
that's completely okay.
Yes, I think the topic was more about good practice. Maybe I missaid my introduction, but I just wanted to recap the good practice. Anyway,
perfect.
The most crucial things have been said at the start of the video, and people are already lost. So, and this is not that advanced, and I will suggest people to do it for Somnium space, avatars, words, parcels, inquiry words, spaces, a texture compression here. If you don't want to hear my blah blah blah, so I'm not even sure you can say that in English, whatever. Just put 1K, compress low, crunch. It's just the best settings. The quality reduction is not that noticeable. The gain on memory and on GPU memory is very great. So let's keep with that, right? And it's the same for normal maps and stuff. Just this will save you so much performance. Trust me. This and using a lot of the same textures. Sorry, the same material. So here we have, oh yeah, sorry. My prefab, once I edit it, apply all here in this dropdown. Now the prefab is saved, I can delete it. And now my prefab is ready. Yes, just if you did not know. You can also just do unpack, delete the old prefab, drag and drop again. This works too. It may be simpler in fact. So this is good practice for textures. Oh, let's do another good practice. I click on my mesh. Mesh. Name it, I don't know how to point. And here on my mesh, there is really one setting you want to make sure you do. It's read write enable. This will allow you to use mesh collider. If you want to use mesh collider, do that. If you don't mind. But if you have a house, a weird shape like this, you need to enable the read write option. Or you will have some errors and the collision won't work. So you understand really well. All the other settings is not important on mesh. At least it's not a big mistake of not touching it. Even the compression, you don't save that much if it's not a very high model. Can't leave it too off. Like this here, it's so small, like there's no point. So, like I said, for the good practice, if I want to export this prefab here, Denevraut, prefab, weird box, I could export like this here, export package, if I want to give it to someone. I don't need to uncheck this here because as soon as you have a script on your object, it's gonna try to export all Unity. It's just so sensitive. But if you don't, it's very easy to export. So let's say you have a Somnium Space avatar. You can export it like this by removing the avatar script, right? Avatar config here. I know it's gonna remove stuff that you may have configured, but you will save so much complication. I remove the avatar script or the Somnium Space build item config. I can remove it too. And then I can export this very simply. It's gonna select automatically the files I need. And you see here, it's all in the Denevraut folder. Then very nice. And when you will import it, it's gonna be easier to understand where are the files. It's not gonna pollute your Unity.
Perfect. And one more note on that, if I could point out, if you want to go and do the create export access or export
yes
package,
yes,
is that earlier you were saying to uncheck include dependencies.
Yes.
And if you were to do that now, and sorry if I miss it, the thing to keep in mind here is that by doing that, in this case, it's only going to try to export just the prefab, but none of the materials and textures and other things that are associated with that. So in this particular case, don't close that window yet. You might want to continue to include dependencies to make sure that everything that prefab needs is in there.
So to recap, there's two ways of exporting, let's say, a mini project. First, you don't have script on it. You don't have anything that like is Somnium Space or like, I don't know what you could have, Mesh Baker, or what do I have? Ewu, also Ewu script. You remove all the script on your prefab, like mesh render. The Unity stuff is fine. This is the simplest way to export. You only export the prefab like this. But as soon as I have my, let's say I have building and item config of Somnium Space, that won't work anymore. Look at this. Export package. And now it's trying to export all Unity. Look at this.
Yes.
Pretty sure there's not that much dependencies. This is because, okay, I'm touching a script of Somnium Space. Okay, I'm gonna import Somnium Space, all Somnium Space. Oh wait, I'm touching this. You know, there's something wrong here. It's way too much. So the second way, that's more manual. You need to manually select the folders or the files. Export package, and then uncheck this. You see, same result. But if my project was not organized, it would be impossible to do that without manually unchecking everything, you know? That's the third option you don't want to do. Okay, do I need this one folder on 1000? No. Okay, second folder on 1000? No. Third folder, you know? That's very long. You can also do none here and just select what you know you need. That could be do too, but you know, it's not fun. So this is for exporting package. That's way better than exporting files. Like I will just select it, show Explorer, and just copy paste. This is not a good way of working because everything will be on link. So don't do that. I've seen people transporting things like this and it's horrible to reconstruct at the end. So exporting as package is the best. What else? I know I had something on my mind. Okay, here I remove it. Now I can do override, apply all. Now my prefab is saved. Oh yeah, if you don't have other comments, I will just go very fast on Bolt. Some good practice.
I
Anything?
like it.
Okay,
Nope.
so let's look how I organize Bolt. Evo folder here. Just imagine, like I said, I'm in local. Oh, you know what? Let's start from scratch. So local project Denevraut, and let's go for scripts. Folder scripts and create, like Nerp always suggests me. I create a script here first. Bolt flow macro always. I don't really like state macro. I found it not intuitive enough. But that's me. I always use flow macro. I'm not gonna explain what are the difference. You can find this information or just ask me. So I said not to call it test, so dang it. How can I call it? Yeah, take take the 10 seconds to call it. So organization demonstration script. I mean, it's already a script. I don't need to call it script. That's an error I always make. I always have the information to understand this is a script, so I don't need to call it a script. Now I have my weird box here. I'm gonna add a bolt. Sorry if the music is very bad. I did not take time, but Kidnap don't hear it, so it's fine. Here my flow machine is nothing. I'm gonna drag and drop my script. I can also do the reverse, just do new, but it's so annoying. Look, when you press new, it's always on the root of your Unity. So I'm like, oh my god, local project, Denevraut,
So
scripts.
painful.
Yeah, oh, so painful. Or else I just do this, Sword Explorer, copy path, right, Control C, I click here. That's the third option. I always do that. I don't always use Kidnap option, but I wish I will do it more. So painful to... Okay, I have my script here. So what about script organization? I will tell you. First of all, you can put all the script here, that's fine. You probably won't have 50 like I have probably hundreds, maybe more. You could separate them by categories. I don't know. You could have modules. Modules mean that it's a script that's universal that can be used everywhere. Like for example, C# script. Sorry, it's not C# script. I was brain dead. Okay, brain freeze. Flow macro, and let's call it. What could I do that's nice? Okay, append string. And trying to do more concrete naming. Okay, this one is
So
append string. It's empty, but we will do it. Yes.
okay, sorry. Nope, never mind. I'm
So
good.
my main script here is empty. I'm gonna just drag and drop append string. It's empty too. I'm gonna go inside append string. Try to make as much function or module as possible, and I'm not gonna say don't exaggerate because you won't. But
So I might explain this a different way if you would. Sometimes what I'll do is while I'm working on creating something, let's say we were working on this a script for this, and I find myself doing the same operation over and over again. That's when I think to myself, you know what, this might be better as I think what you're working on now, like a super
correct.
unit.
Let's do that
Yeah.
instead. For modules, I know I don't like to do this way. Whoops. Okay, where am I? Good luck. Good thing I'm organized. I can find myself back. Okay. Scripts, module. Let's delete the script for now, the module. Just because it's not my way of working, but it could be yours. Okay, here I'm gonna do something simple. Debug.log. Oh, by the way, very important. I enable the grid snapping. I hate when stuff are not aligned. It's so easy. It's so more nice to read. So go to edit here. Preference. Yes, correct. Preference. Bold. No. Bolt X. Yes. Snap to grid. In Bolt X, Lodic graph. Snap to grid. I love this. Love, love, love. I don't understand who don't like to snap to the grid. What's the point, Kidnap? Tell me.
Totally. And why that isn't just a option on the tab just above you
Yes,
where you can
yes,
set
yes,
everything
yes,
else?
yes, yes.
What the hell?
What the hell? Yeah, they whatever. So snap to the grid is amazing. You can align stuff. It's so easier to read, even when you do a square like this for comments. So let's return to
Let's tell them how you made that comment.
yes, correct. You press Control, and you use the left mouse click. You know this one. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
There, boom, 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 boom. Comments.
And sorry, one last one last time.
Yes.
If you press in Control and left click, and then put that around your object, obviously that would be more. When you click on that square, when you click on that comment, so if you want to stop dragging and click on that, you have not only the ability to change the header there, so you can change it from group to debug debug error or whatever. But notice as you scroll out, if you pull your mouse back, notice how the words get bigger, which can get
Yes.
really super annoying if you have a lot of them.
Yes.
So if you keep that information very minimal, but Denevraut, if you can make that full screen,
You double click
if you click on,
anywhere. You will learn that very soon. Double click it full
yeah.
screen.
Oh, very cool, clever. And now if you click on that that comment box again, up in the upper left, you can rename it, but you can also leave yourself some really detailed notes in the comments about what is happening inside that group. And you can hit enter a few times. You can leave yourself a lot of notes. So
Really?
sometimes what I'll do is,
Oh,
yeah.
I did not know that. Wow. Is there a way to see it?
So,
Okay, see, but you can only see it here.
yep, you can only see it there. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll put a very brief description in the comment that I see when I do the window, and then I'll leave myself a little tag that says "See Notes," and I know to go to the go to there and see the notes of what's actually going on in
Makes
that
sense.
bundle.
For
Yeah.
myself, I'm more a spatial guy, so I will
Good.
add more square inside this, do that, or
Yep.
maybe sometime a
Yep.
second one here. It
Totally.
also do this thing, you know?
Yeah.
You know? And let's talk about color later, but I also like to put color sometime. Not as much as I want, because it's just work, you know? But yeah, I did not know about the text here, and you can add also information that is too painful to write, like I don't know, index 1 is blue, index 2 is red. If it's information you cannot get other way.
Yes, or like a custom when you're triggering custom events.
Correct.
Sometimes I'll put that around the custom event
Let's
so that
suppose
I can
people
keep
know
track of.
what is custom event.
That's a good point.
So yes, those are nice for organization. That's good. I guess I'm gonna check that. That's very nice. So that's for comment. Let's keep it simple for now. So
Yep.
okay, I was trying to append string. String. Okay,
Yep.
Sorry. Let's just do another, okay? Generic other, you can add anything. Okay, the problem with string, if you want a new line character, you need to do, I think it's system, no, environment, that new line character. I don't know if there's other way, but that's the only way I found. If you need to...
Well, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
It won't work like normal coding. In normal coding, you do this character here. Or the other way, I'm not sure. This will be new line, but it don't work in bold. It will read it like text. So line 1 of text is this. I add the new line character. Sorry, we need to do that this way. And line 2. You see how painful it is to read?
Yeah.
Line 2. I could also do, there's multiple way of doing it. String format. Still need to have treating. like this, new line character. This is better, but it's still not super nice to read. I know bolt is slow, but sometimes it's nice to trade speed for readability. Especially if it's a script that executes once in a while, you don't care if it's efficient or not. You will never see the difference. If it's a script that executes every frame, now you need to make it very efficient. Okay, so this will add, oh, no, sorry, I forgot format. It's 0, 1, and 2. Third way is string builder. You chose the one you like, but whatever. String builder apparently is the fastest one, but it's maybe complicated. I guess string format is the most straightforward way because you can add extra character like this. This is the text, and then you insert 0, 1, 2. So let's say we want to do a module with that, right? So right click, add unit, super unit. It's like a module or a function, whatever. I'm gonna cut this, go inside, paste. Now we need to configure the input on the output. Input plus, I just write in like this and disable it. And we don't need to know that's input and output. If you have one input, one output, you don't need to bother the naming. So this is for, yeah, we are still in good practice because I'm not losing myself in my explanation. Maybe a little bit. So output, new str for new string, I guess. Don't matter how it's called. String. We are gonna have line 1. That is a string. I love to enable as default value because I can type it directly. Line 2. String have default value. Line 1. Whoops. Line 2. So now I will have a function that will, sorry, I just need to fix this here. I don't need all this. Now the function, I know it's very, it don't seem like, okay, you made a function with 2 nodes. Or you have OCD++.
Yeah, just for fun, let's click on that input again. And great idea, you said has default value. Let's uncheck that and show what happens if you don't
I will
have that
remove one.
checked.
I will remove the
Yeah,
second one.
perfect.
Or the first one is more interior. Yes, okay.
Sure. Yep.
So here we have, let's call it the string append line. There. That's not explicit. Sorry, but it's not explicit enough. So I'm gonna call it this one string. You will know why. So this is the original string, and this is the new line. New line.
Ah, yes.
And I could call the output combine it or output, or I could also don't name it, like hide label like this. There. I know it. I know what I mean. If it's clear enough, don't put text. So line the one that this doesn't work. New line, enter. You need to press enter. There. So what the sorry, I go too fast. Okay, string append line. Okay, maybe I could put spaces because it's easier to read. There, string append line. So string and new line. What I'm gonna do
so as we
is
as you can see, what happens is if you put the has default value, it means that you could put in what you want the default to be, but also,
yes.
and sometimes even more importantly, it gives you a area that you can type in what you want it to be.
Correct.
That way you don't have to create a literal string to plug in. You can add it right on the fly.
Yes. So what's Kidnap said, instead of having to put this node everywhere like this.
Yep.
New line of stuff. then I can just put it there, and it's very nice to do that. And you see, now it's easier for the mind to read that than having a bunch of nodes. The less nodes you have, the easier it is for your brain to read it. So this technique of creating super unit, or I call it function, module, whatever, make your code faster to read. Sometimes maybe not faster to execute, but fast reading is more important for most people. Let's care about efficiency later. Let's learn and care about reading first. So this is our module that's inside module. Oh, it's not in module yet, because if I click on it, graph inspector, here I see it's embedded. So this node here is not, if I duplicate it right now, they are not linked. I could add stuff here, and on the original one, it's not gonna be there. So what you want is the module to be a file. So let's press, let's press convert, local module, sorry, local project, Denevraut, script, module, append line. You can use the format you like. I love underscore and capital letter. You can use also not capital letter, no underscore. Don't really matter. I'm just used to do that like this, as long as it's easy to read. I don't like all in one piece like this. I find it harder to read. And even with not capital letter, I find it harder to read. I love this format for everything. Capital letter, underscore, or space. Space work too, right? I just don't feel it's one name. That's on you. You will find one. So now it's a module. If I duplicate it, they are linked. If I do a change here, it's gonna happen here too. They are an instance. They are linked. So I could even do that now. So original string is this. I add the line 2 and I add a line again. So now we have 3 lines. This can be put in cascade. So for the next good practice tips I want to give you is how to position your nodes. My favorite structure is this one here. The flow starts on the left and it continue down and go up.
Really?
I'm pretty sure
Wow.
there's not a lot of language in the earth that's read left to right, down to up. But the reason is simple. The cable like this will look better. I'm not sure what are the circumstances, but I guess both are fine too. You can do that too. Left to right, up to down. The reason I do up to down, I don't do that. It's just easier to read, and your code will be very large. You know, you don't want a code large like this. You want it to be readable, so you want your code to be in a square. So you can do up to down, down to up. Don't matter. I don't even remember why I chose down to up. This is up down.
I usually do top to bottom. That way I can also change it into a sequence.
Oh, that's
If I
why.
want
Look, that's
to.
why I prefer down to up, because look here. I love to put the arguments under it, but in
Yep.
the up to down, I will need to put it upper it for the lines not to cross, because if the lines cross, it's harder for the mind to understand what's happening. You see, the line will cross everywhere, and if you have something very complicated.
Yeah.
So if I do down to up like this, the line are all beautiful like this. This is not strict. Sometimes I go up to down. It really depends. Let's do a loop now. For loop. What is this? Formula. I never saw this thing. For loop. I love when I have a loop. This will execute the thing 10 times. Don't matter what it is. I love to go a lower one to understand this is inside a loop. This is inside a loop. It's a little bit lower, like this, and the exit there. You see? Okay, this code don't make sense. I'm sorry. Let's just make the code make sense, right? So let's create an empty string here. Right, empty string. You know what's weird? variable name can have spaces. I never put space. I just found it not normal. There's no language I know that variables can have a space. I put underscore.
Oh wow. I think isn't the usual Unity protocol the first word will have a lowercase and the second and subsequent parts will have an uppercase.
In some language, yes. In other, it's really depend on the language for the
Totally.
variable naming. In some language, it's only lower case. In some language, you don't have underscore.
Sure.
For both, just shows the standard you like. The standard you like.
Good point.
For me, I prefer readability. So big
Be
capital
before
letter,
before we do a
underscore or space. Yes.
gotcha. Before we do a for loop, can we show a sequence real quick?
Sure. Let me just finish this
Sure.
while it's in my mind. So this script here is gonna add 3 line every loop. So we will have a bunch of line. Okay, sequence. This is a thing I learned not very long time ago. If I have 2 operations to do, let's say I have another debug to print, right? Here.
Or let's just duplicate all of your string append line.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So the straightforward way to code would be to continue here and like this. But it gets messy when you try to organize your stuff. You get cable everywhere. So what people suggest in Somnium is to create sequence here. It's gonna do this thing first until it reaches the end. An arrow that's connected to nothing is an end here. Like here is the end of this loop. Here is the end of this line. So sequence here. This is very easier to read. For example, let's say I have 5 things to print. Then I can have a sequence of 5.
No, yes, yep, you got it.
Yeah, a sequence of 5 like this. It's very easier to read than if I was doing some quibble everywhere like this, you know. Sorry for
Totally.
inventing words. So that's sequence. They are very nice. You can even make sequence of sequence if you want. It's fine. It's a good way of coding. That's way better to read. So readability should be your priority, because when you have a big script, you won't want to continue your work. It's gonna be a pain. And the easier it is to read, the faster it is to understand what you did or what someone did or what you want people to read it. Sorry, I'm stretching. That's done. Okay. So to develop something in the time, months, weeks, it's very important to have readability like this. Were you about to say something?
Nope.
So we have nodes, super unit, we have sequence. Another good practice is to do not abuse the log, but kind of abuse it. You want to know when you have errors, so just don't assume your code is gonna work, and always think that something's gonna be wrong. Like, I don't know, my string here could be null. Like this string here, let's suppose it's coming from somewhere and it could be null, right? A get graph variable, let's suppose I don't really know where it's coming from, but it could be somehow null. Okay, of course, if you do it like this, it's impossible that you get null, so don't do a test like this. But I love to do null tests like this, for example, because I'm not sure there's like 1% of the time it could be broken. So I drew a test here. I will prevent to have errors. And then whoa, that's weird. Then I'm gonna print a log. Oh my god, bolt. Bolt. It do very weird stuff sometimes. Of course, always say the source of your print. Never print test, right? Never. You will be in big pain to remember where you put that. Or like success or whatever. So this, what is it called? Organic, oh no, oh boy. Organization. So I love to start my debug by the name of the module. You couldn't even make it prettier like this. Won't really matter. Yes. Then here, like here, it's error input is null. This is not nice to write on it, right? So you could have make a node, sorry, a super unit that is easier to write errors like this, you know? Yeah, it's on you. I have one for me. It's logboard, logboard, print, error function. So I have the module name, extra function, where it is or whatever. Just the fun of having 3 input. So I can write the error code here, and super unit cannot get infinitely big, but they have some space, like here, some 30 characters. So this worked well for me. You see, not very complicated. It called another node. That called another node. Yeah, it's because my logs are print some places. That's why it's complicated. But oh yeah, kid, in fact, this node is, I think it's available now in IncrediWords for printing logs.
Nice.
Anyway, so log, always tell where it's from, even if you just print test, right? Like, I love to press to do that. Test a. Just remember where it's coming from, right? You could also do string format. Maybe easier to like this. You have the source. The row, and then the error name, whatever. You again, I guess you got the point. Readability. Errors are nice because then if something don't work, first you know that it's broken. If you say nothing, you won't know it. If you have a bunch of errors, one thing that's very bad with Bolt, if something broke anywhere, right? It's not easy to know where it's coming from. It don't always work. Especially if you are sending your code to Somnium Space Words or to IncrediWords, you're not sure where it's broken, so you need to be very explicit and suppose it's gonna broke. Always suppose your code will break, and it's gonna be better than a code that you make it not to break. You see what I mean, Kid Nerpo?
Yes.
So always suppose your code is not perfect. And then it's going to be more perfect than a code that you suppose that is perfect.
Hope for the best, a plan for the worst.
Exactly. Even if 80% of your code is error handling and like stuff like this and printing. So that's the more important good practice for visual scripting. There's a lot of other things. You can ask Discord and stuff. We won't go further. I think we already said too much. 1 hour 20, that's already a lot. So do you have other comments, Kid Norpo?
I think one practice that I've been trying to get into is making a variable on the object or going into a subunit or something that is debugging, so that I can put it into debugging mode while I'm testing scripts. But then when I've got something working fairly well, I'll turn, my goal would be able to turn the debugging off so that we don't fail up. Because I'll debug for both things. I'll debug for failing, and I'll debug for stuff that actually worked, so that if something does fail, I can see how far along the process it got before it stopped responding or I got an error that I wasn't expecting.
So what you mean is creating, I don't know, like some prints that say we reach this position in the code, right?
Yeah, and maybe give back some feedback. Like, let's say we're going to be, you know, string appended, string added this or something like that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Here I'm gonna break my own thing, just for simplicity. But I think what kidnappers say is that, first of all, I would say that always suppose your code is broken first, right? If you make a very big script and like, oh, it's broken, why? You know? I'm like, wait, you did not test any part of it before. Suppose your script is broken first when it's big. So you will like say, okay, I know this part of the script is working. Reach at A. Um, Here I could say line added. So the point is to see the progression of your script. If I was,
Nice. Yeah. Yep.
let's do Andragismo. That's on the Andragismo is a very special node. It gives you the possibility to execute code in play mode, in exit mode, sorry. So I'm enable Gizmo here, and now you see here my script is executing. You won't see the flow moving like in play mode, but still it's very nice way to test. It don't work with everything, it's very limited, but for us here it's fine. Like I already have 33,000 time execute this. Um, because I think the Android Gizmo is like 10 times per second. If I do one loop here, no, it's like 20. Anyway, don't matter. So here I see reach A. I think I like to do for testing sometime. This is very nice to test stuff in exit mode. Okay, I'm gonna do a nice thing. Okay, here I add the variable once. This is for debugging purpose. Once boolean. Oh, I need to set it. Get object variable once. This is just for executing something once. You will understand how it works. This is for debugging. So I have my loop here. If the once is false, you can invert the logic if you want. It execute that, right? So then I do, sorry, set there. This is the thing. You can drag and drop your variable like this. Alt is for setting. Shift is for checking. Control is for control. Does control do anything? No, it don't. Shift and alt. Yes. Okay. Bool literal. True. There. So now this script will be executed only once with those two nodes here. There. Good. So what if it's once? I just click here. Click. So now the script execute once. You see? Because the variable turn true as soon as this have been executed once. I click here, then I see, okay, it reached A, so I know this code is working. Line added. I could even put the partial result if I want. Like here, I have the partial result. Empty string, new line, new line, new line. And then I can get the final result with this here. So clear here, that's important for debugging. I click here. So here I see the final result. If I increase the loop here, I will see that the final result is very big. And of course, I will have 10 times the partial result. So this is a nice way of debugging. It don't work with everything, but it's nice because you don't need to press play mode, stop mode. You can test like let's say you don't remember how adding work, or is this node do what I think. This is very nice for testing. You can also just use the play mode and use on keyboard input. Then you are in play mode, you press space here, it's gonna execute the loop once. So for this for learning is the best way for, yeah, this is the best way for learning. Those two is to don't make a code if you are not sure about one node. Always make sure you know. I like to say that. Make sure you understand the personality of each nodes. Then you can make a bigger script, right? Okay, so if you don't have anything to add, Kidnerp, I will stop the recording.
Sure.
It's already waited a bit too long, and maybe I will make another one for Bolt. But with all this, you're already very good to start doing nice stuff. So thanks for
Absolutely.
watching this tutorial. See you soon. Stop recording. Oh my god, I think this one is fine for once. Did you know this tricks here with the Andra Gizmo?
I did. Yep. Andra Gizmo
Love
and
this.
Andra. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Andra Gizmo select. That's I love those. So let's delete all this. I don't like to have trash. I do like this shape. Whatever. Like, am I sure I'm not deleting? I should not have called it Denevraut. Okay, so yeah, that was great, I guess. At least people
Good
have
show.
something to
Good
watch.
show.
Good tips too. Yeah, I need to keep this scene as clean as possible because this is the one I'm uploading to the template. Well, not to mess.
Yes. Yes.
Admin, I'm gonna return there to look at it a little bit with you. Yeah, I'm rethinking the networking layer for making it faster. I have two things that is slow in Incrediwars. It's a SteamVR input handling and the EvoNet. Not that it's not that it's slowing down the word, but I want them to be as simple as possible. If you remember, Kidnerp, I had before in EvoNet, I had file database and variable database, right?
Yes.
That's gonna be merged in variable database only because they are working exactly the same way. In fact, there's absolutely no difference. The point was, okay, if someone upload a 1 megabyte file, I don't want to slow down variable, but it's never gonna, it's fast enough, and it's one, each of those are an instance of EvoNet, and that's already too slow. So trying to reduce it to 3. Even the bridge, for people that don't know, Incrediword Bridge is a little networking that's communicated between your game and any small project you made on your PC to send information. Even the bridge, I'm questioning if it's very useful because Kidnerp use EvoNet directly. I don't know. That's a question we will figure out in the future. Because think about it, Kidnerp. You could abuse EvoNet with you could abuse EvoNet, right? Inside the game.
Sure.
So not putting it available for people that like you made a MIDI.
Yep.
Let's say you made a MIDI thing. It's not exactly that, but it's that MIDI, right?
Technically DMX, but DMX MIDI kind of for most people are.
Yeah.
I don't even fully know the difference.
Since you since you could already abuse EvoNet, there's no point of forbidding people of using. I don't know. It's just thought. It's heavy. I'm almost close to want to make DLS injection just for the networking. We are not allowed in some space to do that, but I almost want to ask the permission. Right? You know what it is?
I do not.
I never tried it, but as far as I understood, you can add a DLL in play mode, and then you will have a library working that you made.
I think you've said too much.
Oh, right. You're nothing. Anyway, I'm pretty sure anyone that have enough knowledge to make the DLL, right, already know how to import it. Oh my god.
But I think you're right. I think the thing that I found when I first started playing around.
I got a message. Denevraut, please be careful with what you see on stream. Oh.
Did you really?
No, I'm joking.
No. All right.
and I'm trying to make myself stressing. It's like the other day I accidentally put my personal address, door address on stream. I'm like,
Jeez, oh my
bro,
gosh.
what about your own privacy? I had
Oh
to
my
delete this.
goodness.
I had to delete the stream and remake it
Yes.
fast. That was so
Yep,
dumb.
yep.
So, oh, did I show you the in progress grabbing system?
No, I've heard you mentioned it,
Let's try it.
but to get back to your other question real quick, I think you're right that having an application that's on my computer and connects to my instance in Somnium is a really cool through your eWoo bridge is really clever and really cool. But
Yeah,
the only thing that I found is that if it only pertains to just me, it's not terribly useful in
yeah,
that.
because you still need to relay the information to AWONet. So
Exactly,
you can still
exactly.
abuse it. So there's no point.
Totally.
And anyway, my AWONet thing is a DLL, so you can't read what's inside on your. Just for a recap, I made an add-on of Unity, so anyone can make a Unity project that have nothing to do with Summer Space, put buttons in it, like imagine a 2D thing, put buttons, and then I don't know, is button open lights in your space.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
what I did. Okay, there's a lot of errors because I was working on something, but let's go to. I need to fix my avatar, my character. I'm a ghost. Okay, so green forward and go left. Trying to remember where I put my stuff. So new grabbing system. Now in PC mode, you will use your mouse to grab stuff like this. Yoo-hoo! Boom.
Nice.
Apple. Beer. It's nice. Not perfect, but better than it was. Here I grab the book. Look, when I grab something, it don't have a mass. Oh wow! How is it possible? Well, I want to try this. Oh wow! I love this. I thought I will lose forever or something, but
Oh wow,
the
that is
physic,
really cute. That
the
is fun.
the physic is preventing the book from going in. I don't know why. I hope it's not because I enabled interpolation on everything. Woohoo!
Is it really the lower you put it, the higher it
Yes,
goes?
it's like putting a hair balloon in water. I can explain why. In Unity, all the physics work is a tricky. In fact, when it's not really colliding, it's more complicated. It's less. It's simpler than that. In fact, when an object is inside something, it creates a force that's repelling it. So you think it's touching the surface, but in fact, it's kind of equaling the force to repel. In fact, it's kind of wow, Matt. It's it's kind of how real physics works. So I guess it's fine. But because of that, if the object go too fast, you know it's frame by frame. If the object go too fast, it's gonna go through the surface and still continue. You see what I mean? So
All I'm
because
hearing is that you invented VR Flappy Birds.
I did not do anything. It will do the same for anyone that. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Poop. It's not too bad. Look, I'm probably like 10 centimeters inside, and it don't
Yep.
jump that much. But if you
Yep.
go if you go very deep. Oh, now it's gone. Bye
Oh,
bye. Okay, that's
no,
what I was
you did
thinking.
it.
Oh, look, I'm not sure what's the. Look, I'm go very deep. Oh, now it's gone. Okay, there's a limit of this, but still, right?
Is it gone, or is it just did it just fly far, far
It's
away?
probably on the floor of the ward. If I go check, it's probably on the floor of the ward somewhere. And so it's oh no, it teleported me back.
Can
So
you find it in your hierarchy?
I mean, this is fine because I'm planning on giving the ability to people to put a respawn button for physics. So that's fine. You know.
Good
Whoa,
idea.
why did it go that high? Okay. Can I grab two things? No, okay, that's good. So you saw the ball.
Yeah.
It's not very clear, but it's a changing color, and if I grab, it keeps solid. And it's only there if you can grab something. The book. Let's be clear, this is completely useless, but it's fun, right? Could
That's
be
not
interesting
completely
for
useless.
some
It's got
games.
some
It could be
purpose.
nice for some games,
Absolutely.
like put the thing here and open the door, you know. Okay, there's nothing as physic here. Yeah, I'm rethinking the grabbing system because the grabbing system 2 is heavy in Incredible Words. I mean, everything that's execute every frame is heavy, so I need to make them as simple,
Of
and if
course.
not necessary, remove it. So, oh yeah, but it worked with the golf, but it's not very fun. I don't know how to make a golf in PC mode, to be honest, without cheating.
Yeah.
I can drag the ball. I can do golf like this, right?
Boop.
I need the ball to forbid from going through surface.
Ah.
Wait, I know. Oh, it worked. Can you imagine? Look at this, okay? I
Yep.
take the ball, I go forward and I stop. No, don't go away. Okay, it's gone.
Oh. Yep.
And that's why I
What
have the
if
magic button here, reset ball. That's
what if you
broken.
did like you have to pull back.
Look at this. That's so funny. Okay.
Oh, that is kind of
Wait,
fun.
I could do that maybe. I take the stick like this. It's so sensitive. Like this, and I do. Eh. There's interpolation on the golf. So if you see the thing teleport because there's not enough frame rate, that's fine. This physics is very high quality, so it's just hard to have the right depth. Poof. Wait. Okay, maybe it can work, but it's just harder than VR. Right?
Totally.
Okay, I guess that's fine enough. Poof. Oh, you know what's missing? The stick need a shadow. A fake shadow. To know where it is.
True. Yep.
For depth correction, it's you see here the ball don't have a nice shadow. For depth correction, shadow is very interesting, you know. For depth perception, sorry. For example, I've seen VRS set with hand tracking, but then it's hard to see where if is your hand close to the object. It's not super easy, so they need to think about something. I don't think there's anything else that I can grab. Yeah, I can imagine like you grab something and then you can move around with it. Like this here, a book. Bring me back my book. Okay, coming. Okay, this
Be
this is
right
not.
back in a sec.
Yes, take the book and I go in this direction. There. I can throw it. Pew! Bye bye. Sorry, it's just so better than the last grabbing system I made.
It's nice. It's really nice.
It's way better than the last grabbing system I made. Look at this. Oh boy, fuck. I need to reduce I need to put a maximum speed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, bye! Then it's 10 km away. And it would be nice if I scroll and it get closer or something like this.
True.
I don't know. There must be a way to bring it closer. Maybe scrolling is fine. Wait, I think in some space, yeah, if you scroll, it will change the view. Nah, that's not enough. It's not nice. Oh, it's this one can be grabbed. No, it can't. Wait, what? Oh yeah, NB pick up. Pick up. Okay, so nice stream today, I guess. Hope. I will probably get the tutorial on YouTube or whatever soon. It's not a quick tutorial, but I guess it's better than nothing. I've not been making a lot of tutorial recently. Wow, look how nice it is at night.
That is beautiful.
Sound gay. I'm sorry. I have the right to say that, okay?
I said nothing.
Oh wow, it's so beautiful here the night. I love night.
Yeah.
Okay, we will have some fun soon. I still have so many problems with the mid-player system, damn it. Things that I did not thought about. Oh, it's gonna come one day. Okay, let's stop this. I will show you very fast what I'm planning for the mid-player system.
Sure.
I think it's the best option. Probably the best option. So here, core script, photon sync. So here I have 100 object, right? Here. You see what I'm doing?
Oh
here
yeah, yes.
Photon transform view, take over. So when someone controls this, everyone will have the 100 object. And that's great. When someone try to control this one, everyone will have this one, even if it's invisible, right? Even if it's invisible, they will still have it. Sorry.
Sure.
Wait. Even if it's invisible, right? It will still move and be synced. That's the point. Less errors, probably more reliability.
Start with now I can't say it.
Reliability. Damn, it's harder to say. Ooh. It's like I'm playing violin with my tongue.
Ooh,
and here, look at this. Instead of controlling each object by script, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna use... Okay, so I did not put this in good practice guide, but this is very important. Bolt is slow. I yesterday learned that it's probably between 100 and 200 times slower than C#. And that's a lot slow. So the thing is, you should use as much Unity feature as possible before using Bolt. For example, you have parent constraint, physics constraint you can use that don't necessarily need coding. So here, all my objects have parent constraint. So what I'm gonna do is, if an object is controlled by this specific thing, I'm gonna enable the parent constraint, reset the rotation and the position. Then, poof, the object is gonna be controlled by this invisible object here without script, without even parenting, right? No parenting, no script, controlled. And if the reverse, if the object is the master, then the parent constraint will be in the other direction. So this one will be off. So this one is controlled by the other. You see what I mean?
Yes.
And yeah, I hope it will work. I'm not close to use rigid body view, but this should be fine. And the physics will be disabled if an object is controlled, remotely controlled. What we really want, you know, is you see when someone has something in his hand. That's all we want. All the rest is optional.
All we want.
It's all we want. Of course, we would like to hit the same ball, okay? This is still possible. I could, even if the object is not a rigid body, if you hit it, you could say, okay, now I'm the controller. And then it reverses the hierarchy. Like, you are the controller of the game object. The other become the slave, you know? So in fact, it's always like this. There's one person that controls a game object. The other read the position and the rotation. It's always like that's always how it works. So it's kind of hard when someone else hit a ball to know how to handle it. I think the rigid body view do it all by himself, but I don't master it. So that's for
Sure.
now. For now, it's gonna be on the wait until some space supernova happen. I guess. Whatever, we will see at this point. So yeah, I think I will stop the stream now before starting to code something impossible. Like, oh yes, I
Sure.
want to do AI. Let's code something AI. I know the maths behind it. There's matrix and quaternion, and you will love it, right?
Do it.
Oh, I know quantum math. That would be nice to code too.
Quantum. Yep.
Yeah, it's a variable that have 10 states at the same time, right? Joking. They're just gonna stop. Okay, so thanks for watching the stream, and see you soon. Oh, and just so you know, Denevraut was doing this. I'm doing bye-bye like a normal person. And it's not
That's
because it's
amazing.
hot.
That's what I was picturing in my head.